Good morning, everyone. This is your host, the Mupp. Welcome to episode 1 of Muppz Kitchen. I'm pretty excited to get this thing off and going. Been wanting to do this for a while now, and now that we have to stay inside, I got a little more time on my hands. So, welcome to Muppz Kitchen. I figure the best way to start this thing off is going back into my roots and doing a little breakfast for you. I know everyone loves breakfast, and that's the only thing I really knew how to cook for a long time. So I got some pretty fire breakfast tacos that we're gonna put together. So let's fire up the oven and let's get to cooking. All right, so I'm gonna start with my sausage. Didn't have any bacon, so I'm gonna use sausage for my tacos today. This is already spiced with some heat, but I'm gonna do another recipe as well to bring that heat out a little extra. I like the kick. I don't know if you guys like kick or not, but I stole a little spice from one of my favorite shows called Meat Eaters with Steve Ranella. You should definitely check it out. Great show to binge watch. There's about 9 seasons, at an hour long each episode, and you'll pick up some pretty decent recipes on the way. So the way I like doing really any type of breakfast meat is pretty simple. I'm just gonna do a patty with this, and then I'm gonna chop it up, use it, and just sprinkle it onto my tacos once I'm done. But I always just throw a little pepper on the pan, just to give it a little extra seasoning. In terms of my diet restrictions, I don't really avoid it too much. The only thing I do try to avoid is sugar as much as possible. So you'll see me use a lot of almond milk as opposed to just traditional milk. And I'm not much of a baker. Every once in a while, I will do a dessert or something like that. Maybe in the next couple of episodes, actually. But we'll see. Let me bring you guys over here real quick so you can see what I'm working on. Alright. This is where my sausage is going to be chilling and, doing a little cooking, And I'll show you my little spice recipe that I pulled from Meat Eaters in just a second. I'm going to get this sausage on. The meat I always try and cook the meat first, just to give myself time with the eggs, the all-important eggs, Alright, so let's move up over here. So this is really easy, and I put this on everything, especially if you like heat. So just a little bit of lemon juice. My pan's a little hot, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. It's a nice base layer of lemon juice. Some butter. Get that around in there. And then a little bit of cayenne red pepper, which you'll be seeing a lot because I love it. And Steve dubbed this devil's butter, and it does have some kick to it. It's really good on just about anything. I'm going to keep that cayenne out for my eggs. Now that everything's in here, I'm going to move it around a little bit. In there. Alright, so my devil's butter is damn near done. You just want a nice sauce to it. Ooh, I can already smell how hot it is. I'll just dump it on there. Look at that fire red. Woo! Put that pan up. Alright, let's get our eggs going, yeah? We're just doing 2 eggs. Usually seems to be a trick for one person. I do like to eat though, so you might not even need to do 1 egg. Alright, so I just do, when I'm doing breakfast tacos, a little bit of cayenne. A little bit of chili powder. And just a pinch of cumin. Just a pinch. Put my veggies in. Minced garlic on my pan. I usually cook at about a medium heat. Then mix up nice and right. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be good. Now these eggs are gonna cook quick, so keep an eye on that. While those eggs are cooking, let's turn our attention back to our peanut butter oatmeal. So far it's been milk and oats. Make sure everything's nice and mixed up. Add a tad of vanilla extract, but not that much because it is overpowering. You could use cinnamon too. I don't use cinnamon because again it's overpowering to me. And then the all important peanut butter itself going in hot. Oh yeah. It's a good snack for really any time. Next day, like tomorrow, I'll just heat it up and get her going. Alright. Let's come on back to our eggs. I like using the olive oil and the butter as opposed to spray. It just, those eggs just come right off the pan. It's just so much easier. And I just don't trust the spray, I guess. Alright. Next thing we're going to work on is the tortillas. My neighbors probably hate me with all the noise, but whatever. At least it's followed by good smells. Alright, I'm gonna move this over. Front and center. So what I like to do, and I do this with any of my taco nights, I'm gonna get that olive oil back out. Just a little dabber. You don't want too much, just like that. That's like perfect. Put that around. Just a tiny amount of butter. I know it's like cooking in the freaking 70s. Butter, 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 butter. Don't judge me. A little bit of lime juice. A little bit of pepper. Your favorite tortilla, whatever you're wrapping this thing in. Just let that baby soak. Put your oatmeal, just make sure you're stirring it as much as you can. It can get sticky. Got the corner of the pan with my finger. But remember, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Let's check on this tortilla. Actually, I'm gonna get my peanut butter, a little bit of a stir. It's looking like it's almost done. You'll notice when it starts to clump up like that, that's looking real good. That's looking tasty. Alright, let's see what this bad boy is. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna let that sit. So this is gonna be the outside. I'm gonna have the other side on the inside with the actual eggs. You're gonna taste that torta on the outside a little bit more, you know. You put this extra work into it, you might as well let it pay off. So these eggs are basically done. I'm gonna put this at a low heat and just let it sit and basically stay warm. In fact, I'm gonna throw the sausages on the side so they can be heated up. I chopped it up. You don't want a cold breakfast taco. Speaking of breakfast tacos, isn't that just the best invention? It's like the two best things put into one. Well, thanks everyone who tuned in today. It's my favorite part of the show, honestly. It's time to eat. I'll do a little introduction too, so you guys have an idea of who I am and what my experience is. Excuse me. So I'm the Mupp. You guys are probably wondering why I have such a stupid name. A dear friend of mine up at school decided that my mouth, because it's so large, reminds him of a Muppet mouth. And it has stuck and followed me through various different states, organizations, and basically it will be on my gravestone. I'm originally from the south side of Chicago, actually south suburbs. All the Chicagoans back at home are probably throwing a fit that I said the south side. I know I didn't mean to offend you, but yeah, I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago. I went to school up in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota, and now I just moved to Tampa, Florida. So you'll see a lot of dishes that are kind of influenced by my upbringing in places I've been outside of Minnesota, because there's really no actual dishes of Minnesota outside of Mama's hot dish. But that's just casserole, and I'm not gonna make a casserole here. But yeah, let's dig in. All right, before I continue, I gotta get these tacos in me. All right, look at that. Oh yeah, that's good. That is so good. So easy. Didn't take me very long. This whole spin on eggs and breakfast in general, you know. I'm gonna get some of this oatmeal in here. I can shut up for a little bit. So good. Now you eat that. I eat that oatmeal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. That's high in protein. I don't use the cinnamon, so there's not too much sugar in it outside the milk. But again, I use the almond milk. And yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, about my cooking, I know a lot of people come from cooking families. Sorry, Mom, but that's just not the case. What should I say about my family's cooking without, wasn't Mother's Day Sunday too? I just say my family relied on boxes and directions. But they're trying. They're getting better. And yeah, so no cooking classes at all. In fact, I sucked at cooking for the longest time. Another bite. This is the only time you won't hear me talk. Is when I'm eating or drinking. Yeah, so no cooking classes or anything like that. My the school I started at in Minnesota, after freshman year went perfectly. I was like an all A student. It was so easy. They told me that my grades were so good, I'm gonna have to pay them double in order to come back the next year. So I just told them I'm good. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So I went to another school in Minnesota, right down the street actually. And I lived on my own. I lived in an apartment. I didn't live in the dorms. So I had to cook, and I sucked at everything. I enjoyed the burn. I just had the muscle that burnt. And I like everything looked the same. My mother loved the cooking because she likes everything burnt. And I just, like anything, just practice over and over. Take your reps. Eventually you'll get way better at it. And the big thing that I noticed is I found a dish that my timing was good at, and just kept doing it and practicing it and then adding to it, which is that dish, as I said earlier on in the episode, is breakfast. It's eggs, bacon, sausage, stuff like that. So yeah, I just brought that over to other times of meals, you know, lunch, dinner. What else do we eat? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I wouldn't really cook too much for lunch. I'm more of just a breakfast and a dinner person. I usually just kind of snack throughout the rest of the day. But yeah, the biggest thing is timing. Once you figure out, all right, this is my timing for X, Y, and Z, you can bring that over to your next dish that you want to try out. And if you burn it, eat it. Don't waste it. Just enjoy the burn. You'll eventually get it. And just keep trying it. Just because you burn one meal, doesn't mean you're going to continuously burn it. You're just going to just pull it earlier. Even if it's a little undercooked, you can always throw it back in the pan. It's not like you're cooking for anyone but yourself for right now. That's like the other big thing is once you start cooking for other people. Like I noticed that I get a little worried. Like, oh, did they like it? I hope they liked it. Do they hate me because I burnt? No, just cook for yourself. If you think it tastes good, other people are probably actually gonna like it too. So, um, yeah. But I'm trying to think what else about myself that you should know. As I said earlier, too, I try to avoid sugars, but we all know that's damn near impossible. So you won't see me do too many desserts. I do have one planned next week, but outside of that, I don't eat. Besides that, like, oh, like too much sugar, just my stomach just gets fried from it. Um, in terms of this show, I'm gonna do this probably twice, 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. That's what normal people would say. Warning: English is my first language, but it will sound like my second. Um, as I said before, my grades are just through the roof. One of the smartest people you'll ever listen to. Um, yeah, probably 2 or 3 times a week. And what I'll do is I'll probably do like one day I'll do a breakfast day. The next I'll do like an appetizer or like maybe a small lunch, and then another day I'll do a dinner or a dessert. But the dessert will be a rare occasion, as I said before. But the big thing with what I ideally want to do is like efficient meals and budget friendly meals, especially in this time of need. Um, we don't have access to everything that we want to do, and in general, I like doing that. So if Monday's meal has something that is gonna pull to Wednesday's meal, that's what I always do. Every other day, I would like to have something that I don't have to cook again, and it's just ready for me to pull out of the fridge and use. So you'll see that a lot. In terms of viewership, I'm open to criticism. If there's some chefs out there that are like, wow, you are just pitiful, you're an absolute peasant behind the pan, I am open to criticism. The best thing about cooking is we could all enjoy it and learn from each other. And as you saw earlier in this recipe today, I used the recipe from that show Meat Eaters. Obviously, I'm gonna give a little shout out to Steve Ranella, also because I'm a huge fan. But yeah, every recipe I use, obviously it's pulled online. I'm not, inventing recipes myself. I do pull it and change it to how I like it, but I'll put it in the comment section, where I got this recipe and what I think of it and what I changed. And, obviously you could do the same. But outside of that, I'm going to finish my breakfast. So if you don't mind, you could just get out of my apartment now. Okay? I'm just kidding. Love you guys. See you guys. Today's Thursday. I don't know what I'm cooking yet, but it's going to be pretty good. I'll see you guys later.